This is a chocolate cookies and cream bundt cake, a made from scratch chocolate cake with a homemade cookies and cream glaze. Real simple and easy to make. The first thing you want to do is melt 2 sticks of butter in a saucepan on a medium heat. Add 1 bar of unsweetened chocolate to that. And then you're going to add 2.5 cups of sugar and also 1 cup of water. Get all of this melted down on a medium heat. No need to bring it to a boil, just melt it. And then add about a tablespoon of vanilla. Set it to the side. Once it's all melted, remove it from the heat. And now we're going to get our dry ingredients together. Now I will be sifting my dry ingredients directly into my mixing bowl. And this is going to start with 4 cups of all-purpose flour, now we also want to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 2 teaspoons of baking soda, a teaspoon of salt, and a 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. Sift all those ingredients directly into your mixing bowl. And then we're going to add to that 2 cups of buttermilk. This does not have to be room temperature because we're going to add the hot chocolate mixture here right to that while mixing on a medium low speed you want to mix this on. And then we're going to get ready to add our eggs. I got 5 eggs. They don't have to be room temperature either, but yeah, 5 eggs. We're going to start to just dump all of those in. And then once you get all of the eggs in, you want to beat this on a medium speed for like exactly 2 minutes. Scraping your bowl in between, and then it's ready to go. I poured this into a prepared bundt pan. I greased and floured. This is my square pan from Old Country Kitchenware. And we're just going to add all of that batter in. We're going to bake this in a preheated oven at 350 degrees for about 35 to 45 minutes, depending on your oven. And it should look a little something like this. I let this cool for about 15 minutes, and then I did flip this out onto a cake plate. Once I flipped it out, I did not decorate it right away. I wrapped it up and set it to the side. I came back the next day and unwrapped it, and now we're going to make our glaze. So it did sit on my counter overnight, completely wrapped in this plastic wrap, and I'm going to transfer it to my cake board, and then we're going to get ready to make the cookies and cream glaze. And for that, you're going to need some crushed Oreo cookies, some heavy cream, some powdered sugar, and some butter. And I'm starting here with like a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. Actually, it's about 1/3 of a cup of heavy cream. And 2 tablespoons of melted butter. We got some vanilla extract, some cream cheese, emulsion I used in that. And then I'm going to go in with like 2 cups of powdered sugar to start with. I'm going to probably add a little bit more. And then it's all about the consistency you want. But I ended up using about a cup of the crushed Oreos, and I used just the little mini Oreos and crushed them up. About a cup of that goes into the glaze. It was still a little too thin for me, so I did add a little bit more powdered sugar just to thicken it up a little bit and get it to the consistency that I wanted it. But this is all a matter of preference. And after that, we're just going to pour this on to our cooled cake. Remember, this has to be a completely cooled cake. And so this is what my glaze is looking like, and I just spoon it on. It sets up really nice. It doesn't stay wet because of the powdered sugar. It actually sets up really nice without it going into the refrigerator. This traveled very well for me because I ended up taking it to work. So let's cut a slice, and you can see how moist and delicious this cake is. And I ended up putting the slice right back. I poured some more glaze over it, and then I decorated it with some whipped cream. This is optional, but I just happen to have some whipped cream on hand that I had made for a different cake. So I'm just going to add a few dollops, a little border. I'm going to decorate the top of it with some more of the mini Oreo cookies. And just for a little pop of color, I actually did add some maraschino cherries as well. Again, this is all optional. You can decorate it to your liking, but it was a very, very fun cake to make. Very delicious. It was a little bit of a twist on a cookies and cream cake. The person that I made it for was a huge fan of just chocolate cake, so I wanted to do a little something different. And here's the final result. Full recipe will be Full recipe video is at the Chef and the Baker RVA on YouTube.